Fa la la. Yes, I'm ready. Welcome to the Straight Red Card. In this show, we're going to take some of your questions. And I guess before we take your questions, one of the things I wanted to bring up, and this is based on the first question we're going to talk about, Brett, but which is we are here to take your questions on life issues, real life questions, things happening to you. We can do that Oprah shit for you. Like if you've got like boyfriend problems, girlfriend problems, ask us. We're here for you. Stuff. I'm a 50-year-old man. I've gone through all this shit, I've been through it all. And, Brett's been through like about 90% of what I've been through because he's younger than me. But I mean, we're here for you guys. So if you got a question, like a really important one, like this first person asked, we're here for you. So Brett, you want to read that first question?
Yeah, I want to say the first two questions we're going to bring up here are from our Patreon. Awesome. Christian Gary came out and answered the question, or asked us the question when I asked about it.
I hope he didn't answer.
He answered my question with a question.
Okay.
But he says, happy Thanksgiving. In the spirit of the holidays, I'm wondering what your favorite Thanksgiving side dish is.
Man, that's a toughie. Man, that's tough. You know what? For me personally, side dish. I mean, because mashed potatoes and gravy don't really count as a side dish, do they?
What? That's totally my side dish. That's my side dish. Well, the funny thing is, I didn't realize you said side dish because I thought you just said dish, and I was not going to say turkey.
No, because turkey's the main menu.
Yeah, but I mean, now that I know it's a side dish, this definitely makes more sense now, my answer. But I definitely said mashed potatoes. I said, while I love everything about Turkey Day, I always go back for a second helping of mashed potatoes.
Oh, me too.
Oh,
especially if the gravy's good.
So good.
Yeah.
From the turkey scraps and drippings and stuff. Oh, homemade gravy. Oh, it's delicious.
It's fucking delicious. Although one year I was at my ex-wife's house. And her parents, and I love her parents, so this is nothing against them, but they made a glazed ham, which I think is disgusting. I'm sorry, the 8% Jew of me just does not like glazed ham.
God did not set the line for making it to heaven at the deli line, so you're fine. Eating some pig,
dude. I eat ribs all the time. This is not the issue. I just don't like.
You don't like pig butt, huh?
I don't like pig butt with like orange glaze on it. It's disgusting to me, and it just doesn't go. But she cooked this orange glazed ham and used the drippings for that to make the gravy, and it tasted funky, just funky, like funky in a bad way.
You use the glazed ham drippings to make the gravy?
Yeah, because they didn't have turkey; they were doing the glazed ham.
What the hell is that?
I know, dude. It tasted like ass.
Oh,
like
no,
big ass.
No, that's like 90% sugar turned into a gravy. Oh, fuck no.
Okay, now just to clarify further, I just want to say, thoughts with you. She passed away, and not my ex-wife, but her mother. She's a great woman, but yeah, that was a bad decision using pork fat to make a gravy that tasted weird.
Well, no, it's not the pork fat. It's just the glaze.
Yeah, the glaze came off. Yeah,
pork fat, I'm sure pork fat makes a delicious gravy.
So, but it was like a sweet gravy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's weird. No.
Yeah,
no. So it's like you're attempting to make the mashed potatoes into sweet potatoes, sweet mashed potatoes.
Yeah. That didn't work that year. Don't do that. Don't do glazed ham for Thanksgiving.
So have you officially given your dish yet? Or side dish?
I went with mashed potatoes and gravy too. I love the marshmallows and yams.
Yeah.
Too. I love that shit on the side, but I also like stuffing.
Stuffing's good shit too.
Stuffing with the turkey, with the fucking gravy and mashed potato. If I can get a bite where I got a little bit of mashed potato, little bit of gravy, little stuffing. Damn, that's just delicious.
So this year, not having to worry about making a turkey or anything like that. I went to my brother-in-law's house and we had Thanksgiving there. I made a green bean casserole, and
that's solid.
Yeah, that's solid. I mean, if you follow just the if you follow the directions to make a green bean casserole, it's never like it doesn't have flavor. It's just it's mush. So I mean, I diced up a small onion, 3 cloves of garlic.
Hell yes.
Threw it all in there, cooked it. I'm like, did you put the onion and garlic in that? I'm like, yeah.
Hell yeah, I did.
Oh, I'm gonna have to start doing that from now on. I'm like, fuck yeah, those are 2 ingredients that go in just about goddamn everything.
Should have put a habanero in that bitch too.
But I mean,
with the cheese and the sauce and the fucking breadcrumbs, all yeah. I mean, you can make a really good casserole with that. I mean, it's not one of my favorites, but it's pretty good. We had a rib roast, high quality, step it up rib roast, and it was badass. So we didn't do the traditional thing either this Thanksgiving, but it was still good. I mean, I'd rather almost have a turkey actually, because I don't eat turkeys very often. Just Thanksgiving.
Oh, dude. When it's this November through December time frame and the turkeys are like 39 cents a pound. Oh, I go and I stock up. So I've got like 5 or 6 turkeys in the deep freeze right now, and I'm planning on stopping by and getting another one.
You got an extra freezer though?
I got a deep freeze outside. Yeah,
that's what I thought. And you have to.
You have to, yeah. So I've got that, and then I'll go from now until they're no longer on sale at that price. I'll just go once every week or 2 and get another turkey, cook that, and that way I always have the 6 or so in my freezer. And then throughout the year, I'll basically just cook a turkey every 3 weeks. I mean, and I have turkey. I've got the turkey meat for like sandwiches. I got turkey, noodle casseroles. I got turkey soups.
Turkey salad.
I got everything.
Turkey salad with like chopped up celery, some red onions, fucking a little relish in there with the vinegar and the mayonnaise, salt and pepper, a little garlic powder. Damn.
Did we jump into our foodies? Did we jump into our foodie channel already?
All right. Yes, we're gonna do that show at some point.
We might have to.
2 fat foodies. That's coming, folks. It's coming. We are gonna do it.
We're just gonna cut these sections out of all of our videos where we talk about food, and then just throw that up as all of our initial videos.
Yeah, we can just chop this out and use it for that show.
There you go.
As we introduce
2 birds, 1 stone.
And if you guys think we're joking, we're not. We love food and ingredients. And how the whole process about how food is made. All right, so I just burped. Here we go. We're ready to start this show.
Number 2.
Question number 2.
Yeah, question number 2 by the same guy, Christian Gary. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. And again, visit us on Patreon. We're still getting all that stuff up there, but we are posting some stuff up now and getting a little more active there.
Yeah. Life's getting in the way of advancing that real fast, but life, like new jobs and shit like that.
Yep. So second question is now on to the soccer question. What is the biggest quote unquote what if in the United States men's national team history? His is what if the handball was called versus Germany?
Well, I get that one. I like it, but I still think we would have lost the game. But it would have. It's a great
hard to argue,
though. I mean, you just never know what can happen.
Changes the mentality of the game, and Germany would still have been pressing heavy on that.
I mean, they could have beat us in penalty kicks eventually or whatever. But I would have really. You never know. I mean, the whole German team would have started their anuses would start to pucker. After that, if it were a tie game. So, I mean, that's a pretty good what if. My other what if, though, is, what if that bomb shot that Trinidad and Tobago made on us in 2018 didn't just barely go off of Gonzo's foot and then have this amazing spin and just drop over the fingertips of Howard, or if that guy that launched that 40-yard bomb that scored right in the corner, that was a rocket by them. If those 2 goals didn't happen, we would have made the 2018 World Cup.
If one of them didn't go in, we would have made the 2018 World Cup.
Yeah.
I mean, again, both of them could have gone. Both of them did go in, and we still could have made the World Cup. It was a perfect storm of things that occurred that ended up fucking us, and mind you, our own fucking, but
Yeah.
it was like there's one scenario out of like 50 that could occur for you not to qualify, and it happened. Oh, fuck, shit.
Yeah. I mean,
But-
there are so many what if things you can come up with, you know? What if Franz Beckenbauer was born in Wisconsin? I mean,
yeah, well, let's be realistic here, people. No, so my big what if is, what if Wando scored the goal against Belgium in 2014?
oh,
That would have been us moving on to the quarters.
Wando will never live that down, will he?
Dude, that was his fucking bread and butter, man. He should have put that away.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is his bread and butter.
You couldn't describe a better one. Like if there's anybody on the national team that you'd want to put that shot on goal, that would have been Wando, because that's exactly what he did. His entire career was that poaching back post, whoop, in there, you know.
Or Landon Donovan.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a number of players that probably would have done it just as well too, or probably put it away. But I'm just saying that was. I mean, if you're like, oh, Wando has this opportunity at the back post, does he score or not? You're like, yeah, of course he scores. That's what he does. No, he totally fucked that one up. And unfortunately, you know, Howard could only stop so many shots.
Yeah.
And we ended up losing 2-1. We could have won 1-0 before it even occurred. And we would have gotten to the quarters. Of course, then at that point we probably would have lost to Argentina. But who knows? You never know at that point. You never know at that point. But it was just like, oh, that was a kick in the dick, I swear.
Yeah, it was a kicking bag of dicks. You know, what ifs, all this is just, you know, it's what if stuff. And, you know, there are a lot of what ifs. And we've gotten some of those what ifs that have come true when, like, say, Timothy Weah is born in the United States. Like that's a great what if. Like, let's say the former Ballon d'Or, you know, attacking player gives birth to his son in our country. Boom, it happened, you know. So George Weah, who is the, you know, prime minister or whatever the fuck he is, president of Liberia, his son plays for us, not Liberia.
Well,
his father is the fucking prime minister of Liberia, but his son plays for the United States of America.
The same thing can be said about Musa. Wasn't he just born in New York City and that was it? That was his connection.
Yeah.
He was just born in the United States, and we managed to snag him away from England and insert whatever every other country he may have been qualified for.
I think all of Ronaldo's test tube babies were born in the United States.
I think Ronaldo's son was born in the United States, wasn't he?
He was. I think Messi's.
So there's a possibility.
I believe one of Messi's kids was born in the United States. I might be wrong.
Let's start some scouting now. Let's get you know.
Yeah, I mean, look. I mean, a lot of, you know, what, like you look at Brooks, you look at Jermaine Jones, you look at Timothy Chandler, a lot of
Jeremy Toljan.
Yeah, we had Americans overseas making babies, and that helps us too. So, but we used to have a lot more bases overseas than we do now. Although, I mean, we still have lots of bases everywhere. The point being that, you know, there's a lot of what ifs that are going on out there even today. So that's going to continue. Let's move on to, what's the next one? Oh, Liverpool want Pulisic? Question mark. Okay. Yeah.
I think they wanted Pulisic for the last like 2 years.
That's been going on forever. Yeah. I mean, I'll just believe it when I see it, because then we had the Barcelona Pulisic rumors too. So, but I guess but see this, folks, here's the thing. This is the English press. You can't trust them. They can say whatever they want. They have much more discretion there to say whatever the fuck they want. They're just making up shit. In fact, the rumor was Mount and Pulisic to Liverpool. I mean, if you're the Chelsea manager, you're giving Mount and Pulisic up to Liverpool? I don't think so. I really don't think that's a good idea, because, listen, there's Havertz is not playing. He's injured, but he hasn't been playing well. You know, they have guys on that team that are already being talked about being sent away. Hudson-Odoi, who's the Ajax kid? Forgot his name. something Yickel. Blah, blah, blah. Anyhow, yeah, my brain's fried.
Mm.
So, yeah, I mean, there's plenty of rumors, but you got to understand those are just rumors. They're really not anything until you hear about someone's agent showing up, in the offices of Liverpool, at Liverpool.
Yeah.
Then you're like, oh, his fucking agent showed up. This is no longer a phone call. This is a personal meeting. Then you can get serious about it. Right now, it's just talk. Just talk.
I mean, obviously, Klopp has been a big fan of him since he's coached him at Dortmund, and he was wanting to bring him on, but Chelsea brought him up instead because they had the funds to do so. And in that English, those tabloids, it's rumored that Chelsea is announcing the price for Pulisic to be $42 million, which is $16 million less than what they paid for him.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So I don't know if that's 100% accurate by any means, or if they're like, well, he's injured too often, we just need to offload him or something along those lines. But
by the way, it's Ziyech. It's Ziyech. They're also talking about getting rid of, and along with Mount, along with Pulisic. I mean, why? Why would you do that if you're Chelsea? If I were a Brummer, I wouldn't do that.
So they can make more room on the pitch for Havertz and Werner.
Yeah, that's been a great combo. I mean, yeah, I just don't understand. And then they're also talking about Haaland coming to Chelsea. Well, Lukaku's got to find a new job then, because obviously he's not going to be playing much. So I'm not buying all this shit. I mean, I think Chelsea are pretty comfortable with the players that they have.
Just think if Chelsea played that two-man striker tandem of that, Haaland and Lukaku.
Yeah, I don't think Tuchel's capable of playing a 4-4-2. That's just that's like nothing he's done before in his life. And I just don't, which is so weird because that was everybody's. Well, he's done that. So I guess that's possible. Yeah. I mean, he's done some of that. So, but it's just not in his blood to play a 4-4-2. I mean, and that's so weird because that used to be like the fallback, starting lineup for everybody. Oh, we're going to play 4-4-2.
Right. I don't think Chelsea's going to get Haaland because, Newcastle has all their deep pockets now. So
they do, but that's always that. Remember when Man City became a deep-pocketed team? It took them a good few years to get people to say, "Yeah, okay, I'll play for you." It took them a while for Man City to get. I mean, they got that Brazilian kid, and then that one great player, and everybody else said, "Okay, if that guy's there, maybe I can go there." It was a slow process of convincing people that. We are going to be a Champions League team next year. And if you come play for us, you're going to be playing in the Champions League because that's what all top players want to play in. So it's a risk for them. It's like, how serious are these guys? I mean, how good is their pitch? Not their field, the pitch. Like, here's our plan. So it's a big decision to make if you're a really top player. If you're Messi, do you really want to go play for Newcastle? I don't know. If you're whomever, do you really want to go play for Newcastle? They haven't been.
Not for the first year. It'll be a bunch of middling transfers, and then next year after they do well, then the big names would come.
They haven't been great since Alan Shearer was there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and
they just got the new deep pockets now. So let's see what happens after a couple of windows.
I give them 3 years, and I bet you they're a top flight team if they're going to spend that much money. Give them 3 years, though. That's what it took for Man City to become a top flight team. 3 years when they had the money. So, we might see the glory days of Newcastle when Alan Shearer was there again. We might. The last rumor is 2 or 3. Question. Sorry. 2 or 3 Serie A clubs looking at Dike? Question mark. Well, sure. I mean, fucking Busio's there. Testman's there. I mean, why wouldn't Venezia be looking at Dike? I believe that.
They were well, in fairness, they were also looking at Eric Palmer Brown too at one point.
Well, they were wrong about that. I don't think.
I mean, they weren't wrong looking at him, but they probably dodged a bullet.
Not signing him because, I mean, he's not that great of a player, and he can't get any time at Troyes, and Yeah, I just don't see that working out for him. He's going
Yeah,
to
if
be
he
going
can't crack a team in the 5th best league in the world, or is League six now? I don't even know anymore.
Well, I mean,
I
look,
thought Portugal took over the 5th spot.
I think they might have in the new
Yeah.
ratings, but it's hard to say. But I mean, obviously, it's England, Spain, Germany. I mean, I'm not in no particular order. Italy, France, Portugal. Those are your top leagues, right? So
That's what the numbers are saying, at least.
yeah, and then I mean, I don't know. I'm sure Dike could move to a Serie A club, but if they're asking for 20 million for him, no, he's not going anywhere.
Well, I mean, he's 1 year less on his contract, so I mean, Orlando has to take that into consideration when looking to sell him. They no longer have we have him for like 3 more years, or we have him for 2 more years, however many years his contract has lasted. They only have him for like 1 more year, and then at that point, they're like, well, this is our big time to sell it,
Well, they're going to have to make a decision soon. There's no doubt about that. And I think they'd rather take 10 million than nothing. So
wasn't this his 2nd year at Orlando?
Yes.
So that means that in theory, I haven't really followed up on the MLS contracts as a whole, but of late. But it used to always be, especially when you're coming out of college and get drafted, that it's always been a 5-year contract. So that would lead me to think that maybe with extensions and stuff like that, Orlando has at least another 3 years on that contract.
They might. And they could always sign him for an extension just to maintain the reality that anyone that buys him will have to pay them money and then probably a percentage of future revenue on future sales. So, yeah, I mean, Dike could play for a lot of teams in Serie A, especially a lot of teams that are like 10th and down, including Venezia. So, and with the American investment and interest in Venezia, I mean, it wouldn't shock me to see Dike, especially with the fact that they can't score goals in Venezia. So they have a hard time scoring goals. And he's already proven that, and, he can score goals in the championship. He's scoring goals in MLS. He continued. I think he scored in the last game he played. So I think that even though they lost the game, I think that, the bottom half of Italy is very congruent and comparable to the championship. So I think he would thrive there. He's not going to thrive against like the top 3 teams in Italy or 4 teams, but he's going to thrive otherwise. So I'd say sign him.
Well, not thriving against. He's not going to thrive again. He'll thrive again. He could thrive against. He's not going to thrive for.
He's going to keep Venezia up.
Yeah,
it's my point. If he goes to Venezia, along with Tessman, along with Busio, and then there were the rumors for a while that Eric Palmer Brown was going to go there. Then he ended up in France, but I think with the American interest in Venezia, I think that's a very possible option for him, and we could see him there because, like I said, the front, 2 or 3, depending on how they set up to play, they're not scoring a whole lot of goals, and that's been the issue for Venezia. They don't score a lot of goals, and that's a challenge. So they need, a guy like that, Dike. I think he would do really well in Italy. I really do. It's not like an overly technical league, and he's got power and speed, and we've seen guys like Lukaku do really well in Italy, and I think he would do really well in Italy. He's physical, so those center backs, he's right up there. He could compete with any center back pairing in Italy, even with the big boy teams. But the problem is he going to get any service during those games? Probably not against the big boy teams. But yeah, I like to see it. I'd like to see it.
Yeah, he definitely needs to make the move. He's languishing here in the MLS at this point. I think the 2 years have served him well, but he needs to get his big boy pants folded up.
Well, and I think a lot of teams like Philadelphia are learning that they're going to sell some players on. McKenzie, Aronson. and they're going to have to fill those spots. It's just how it works. But they've got a great youth system. Orlando, they need
FC Dallas.
FC Dallas have already accepted this reality of being a selling club. Orlando needs to take that step. They need to say we're a selling club, and obviously Muller's living. So
yeah, I mean, you spend that time and you develop players. I mean, if you sell a player to a season of youth players, not even just like starting players by any means, but let's just say youth players, you still have an entire roster of youth players coming through the woodwork.
Yeah,
so, I mean, it's just they've beat the MLS teams are going to have to start really focusing on that youth development, and then that's a lot of side cash that they're going to be able to make, and they can reinvest back into the team.
And we're seeing more and more of that. And then for the teams that think that we're going to continue to do that, but we're not sure it's going to fill a gap, then they're going to South America and they're signing some top South American kid from one of those teams, or Brazil or Paraguay,
Colombia.
Exactly. So we're seeing this team, this league, mature, which is good. And they're realizing that they're not going to be a top 5 league anytime real soon, that they're basically the Netherlands. They have players that people want, and they're got to be willing to sell them at some point at least a price that is sensible and makes sense for the league and for the team and for the buyer. And that's what made the Netherlands so great over the years, is they're like, Ajax has been like, okay, yeah, you want this guy? You want Ziyech? Pay up. Or, but well, in some cases, how bad do you want him? If you want him bad, then you're going to have to pay a lot more. If you don't really want him that much, then we'll just kind of sit here and wait. But I don't think anything so far has been absolutely unreasonable, but I do think 20 million for Dike at this point is a little high. But somebody might be willing to pay that, so we'll see what happens.
I think if Dike gets called back into the national team and he puts a couple goals away, I think that 20 million is going to be much more reasonable. But as far as his production level with Orlando and what he did with the championship, I think 20 million is asking a lot. And I don't blame MLS for reaching for the stars and wanting to get their payday, especially for their top talent. Because it's not as you would think, I can just go out and just get another goal scorer off the side of the street. Sure, that'll work. But it doesn't necessarily work out that way.
No, it does not.
But you make 10, 12 million, let's just say, instead of the 20 million for Dike. That opens a lot of doors.
I mean, Benji Michel is not going to fill Dike's shoes. Let's just be honest about that. He's just not.
Nope. And
I don't know who's going to fill Muller's shoes, but they're going to go out and they're going to go find somebody. And that's okay. That's how this process works. And I just hope that Dike finds a team where he's got a real shot at playing. And I don't know why it's Italian teams. I think it's really cool that, for so long, the Italian league paid no attention to American players. They could give a fuck. And now that's changing. I think it's slowly changing. So we might see more and more Americans playing there. And I think Dike might be one of them. I hope it is. And I think I hope it's for a team that can compete and stay up in Italy. And I hope it's Venezia, because I think that would be really cool, because it'll be easier to cover all the Americans in Italy if they all play on one team.
That'd be the way to work it.
Yeah. It's like, I got to cover all the Americans in Italy. Oh, they're all on one team. Excellent. Oh, except for Novakovic. Yeah. Him. But, for the guys that are really competing for starting spots for the U.S. men's national team, it'd be easy. They'd all be on one team. So Tessman, Busio, and
get your shit together, guys.
Dike. That would be great. I think we're done for tonight. I think we did pretty good with the timing of everything. Make sure you like and subscribe. Hit the bell. Hit someone you don't like. No, don't do that. I'm just kidding. Don't hit somebody. You can touch them. No, can't touch them either. don't touch somebody you like. Make sure you have some sort of confirmation that kind of touching would be good. Like they would, well, ask them first, I guess, before you touch them. Brett, where am I going with this?
Make sure you click that bell.
Touch the bell. Ding, 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 ding.
That's okay.
All right. It's okay. You're okay with that?
To touch bell, yes.
You're giving me consent
Sure.
to touch your bell?
Just not the end of it.
Ding, ding, ding. Okay. Let's not get too excited. Until next time on the Straight Red Card, good night.